Okay, let's see. Here we have an exponential equation where we have one exponential equal to another exponential. So the only way to solve this is to take the log of both sides so that you can get the variable out of the exponent. So you can use ln or log. Either one, we just need the properties of logs. So I'll just use ln, log base e, of 6 to the x plus 2 equals ln of 3 to the 2x minus 2. Okay, because then you can use that property of logs that says when you have log of something to a power, you can bring that power out in front. So since these are quantities, though, you do have to make sure that you put them in parentheses. X plus 2 goes out in front of ln of 6. And the quantity 2x minus 2 goes out in front of ln of 3. All right, ln of 3 and ln of 6 are just numbers, so you can distribute them into those quantities. Like if you have a number out in front of a quantity, you multiply it times each thing in the quantity. So this is the same thing, it's just written kind of backwards. So we've got ln of 6 times x, which we usually write as x ln of 6 to emphasize that the x is not in the logarithm, plus 2 ln of 6 equals 2x ln of 3. And I'm writing these parentheses around 3 and around 6, which aren't really necessary, but are good. The calculator will put those in when you calculate it. All right, minus 2 ln of 3. Okay, so now what we have is an x term here, a constant, an x term here, and a constant. So what we want to do is get all the x terms together on one side and all the constants together on the other side. So I'm going to subtract 2x ln of 3 from both sides. So it's going to be over here with this x ln of 6. So minus 2x ln of 3. And I'm going to subtract 2 ln of 6 from both sides so that it goes over here and it becomes negative. Negative 2 ln of 6 minus 2 ln of 3. All right, so now we have the x terms over here and the constants over here. Normally, if these were just numbers, like, whole numbers, we would go ahead and subtract those. Since we can't, what you want to do is factor out the x. That's kind of the main key step here that people tend to get stuck on. Factor out the x. In fact, that was a key step that my own daughter forgot when she was taking her test on this stuff. All right, so ln of 6 minus 2 ln of 3 is in parentheses. That's what's left when you pull the x out, equals, same thing over here, just rewrite this side. All right, and then last step, to get x by itself, you divide both sides by this big parenthetical. So divide both sides by ln of 6 minus 2 ln of 3 divided by ln of 6 minus 2 ln of 3. All right, so that cancels out. So x is equal to this number, which you can type into your calculator carefully if you put parentheses around the numerator, parentheses around the denominator. That's what we would call the exact value. So you just type that in really, really carefully. Let's see if I can show you how that would go. Okay, a little bit of glare on the lights. Open parenthesis, negative 2. I was going to show you that I was hitting the negative key here instead of the minus key. That's important, of course. Negative 2 ln of 6. See, it opens up that parenthesis for you, so you got to make sure you close that. Minus 2 ln of 3. Close parenthesis for the 3, close parenthesis for the numerator, and then divided by, open parenthesis, ln of 6. Close that one up, minus 2 ln of 3, and finally close the denominator, hit enter, and then round it to however many decimal places. So that's the approximation then, is approximately 14.257. So depending on, how they want the answer, that's the approximation. On the test, I will also want the exact. And the exact answer, you can simplify it if you use properties of logs. Let me just show you that before I sign off here. Negative 2 ln of 6, you can put that negative 2 coefficient up as a power. So that would be ln of, well, let me just write it as 6 to the negative 2 power, first of all. And then also we can do a minus ln of 3 squared, putting that 2 up in that power. And that's all over ln of 6 minus ln of 3 squared again. So then ln of 6 to the negative 2, remember that's reciprocal squared, so 1 over 36 minus ln of 9 over ln of 6 minus ln of 9, and then you can use properties of logs one more time to change those differences into logs of quotients. So a nicer form for the answer in exact form is ln of 1 over 36 over 9. 1 over 36 divided by 9 is actually 1 over, let me change that to a fraction, 324. Because basically the 9 just gets multiplied by the 36. 1 over 324 over ln of 6 over 9. And 6 over 9 is 2/3. So that actually should be the same decimal if you type it in. ln of 1 over 324 divided by ln of 2/3. And it's a lot easier to type in, so that's one benefit of those properties of logs. 14.257, same exact decimal. So that's how you do it. The main thing again is taking ln of both sides, bringing those powers out in front, distributing into those quantities, putting your x terms together, your constants together, factoring out the x, and then dividing by the parenthetical that's left. You can just leave it like that and type it in carefully. This part right here is optional. Hope that helps.